Hi, I'm Arvind Tyagarajan, presenting feedback for Nike's FY23 Impact Report. This iconic Nike message, "We serve athletes," reflects their mission to empower everyone, yet their sustainability efforts must align with this promise. I will analyze materiality, stakeholders, frameworks, strategy, messaging, and provide actionable recommendations to ensure Nike truly protects the future of sports through sustainability. Our agenda items are very straightforward. We are going to evaluate materiality assessment, stakeholder management, standards integrations, and strategic alignment, tones and messaging. Nike prioritizes climate, targeting 50% recycled materials by 2030, unlike Adidas' labor focus on Patagonia's cotton emphasis. However, their report lacks a materiality assessment, a key ESG tool to rank issues via stakeholder input. This matrix shows their implied focus on climate over labor, but without transparency. It is unclear why. Competitors like Unilever publish such matrices to build trust. I recommend Nike to adapt a stakeholder-driven materiality process to justify the priorities. As you see, Nike emphasizes environmental goals but lacks transparency on worker wages. Their materiality assessment lacks methodological detail. Even wages is not very transparent. Many of the work are done through the contractors, which is a facade for the wage transparency. Nike's ecosystem is very straightforward. Nike engages high salience group like CEO John Doe, designs team pushing eco materials and ESG focused investors. However, factory workers in Vietnam and Indonesia lack urgency, as seen in the absence of wage data. This salience gap shows Nike values innovation over labor equity. I recommend mapping climate programs to specific teams and prioritizing worker engagement through transparent wage reporting. Nike aligns with the global framework like GRI, SASB, and TCFD for ESG reporting. But unlike Adidas, they don't participate in the Carbon Disclosure Project, missing a key climate standard. There is also no mention of third party verification, a transparency gap. Joining CDP would strengthen Nike's climate leadership and improve ESG ratings. If resources are limited, they could start with the Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions reporting. There are certain framework and standards followed by the industry competitors, which Nike lacks. Nike moves to zero campaign aligns sustainability with innovation, achieving 100% renewable energy in North America. However, their 2050 net zero goal lacks a clear roadmap, reducing credibility. I recommend a detailed plan with milestones, like a 30% scope 3 reduction by 2035 and 70% by 2040 to align with the TCFD expectations and boost shareholder confidence. If immediate detail is tough, set a 2030 as an interim target. However, Nike should fill these gaps to gain trust among investors as well as the customers. Nike's innovation like recycled aerosols resonates, but claims of worker empowerment fall flat without wage data. Rising Scope 3 emissions framed as progress is a setback. They are likely tackling this via supplier innovation, but lack candor. I recommend setting a 20% supplier emissions reduction target by 2030 and publishing annual labor audits, learning from Adidas to show accountability and rebuild trust. Nike also have to do a reality check. No factory-specific wage data is disclosed. Innovative products like Space Hippie shoes represent small production volumes. Scope 3 emissions actually increased were framed as a progress. We see here the urgency versus the impact matrix. The high impact, high urgency, and high impact, low urgency, and lower impact, higher urgency. In high impact, high urgency, which is the factory wage transparency, Vietnam workers can earn $145 versus $250 as a living wage. This is a huge gap, and most of the work is done by the contractors, which is even more uh, not clear, not transparent. Create a dedicated CSO position is also high impact and high urgency. Adapt CDP reporting is a high impact, lower urgency, but develop a detailed net zero roadmap is also important. Improve materiality assessment transparency, third party verification for social claims. As of now, Nike has one of the internal team which does this verification. These initiatives align with the UN SDG 8. Decent work and ILO labor workforce. The prioritizing them would demonstrate Nike's genuine commitment. I propose three actions. First, disclose factory wages by region like H&M to build investors' trust. If tough, start with the wage ranges. Second, detail a net zero plan with the 2035 milestone to enhance credibility or set a 2030 target as a start. Third, join CDP to match Adidas climate transparency. Improving ESG scores alternatively begin with scope 1 and 2 data if resources are tight. But however, these recommendations are very important to establish a CSO position to move forward. Nike excels in environmental innovation like 50% recycle as source, but lacks in social transparency with a no wage or audit data. By adopting a materiality matrix, setting clear net zero milestones, and reporting honestly on setbacks, Nike can balance circularity with equity, ensuring they truly protect the future of sport as a sustainability leader. They can go beyond aspirations if they fix this environmental leadership, social transparency gap, and future vision, which truly protect the future of sports.